Hey everybody, this is Dude, and this is the Bourbon Boys Advent Tasting Podcast. We pulled together some of our favorite picks to share with you as we count down to Christmas. We hope you get a chance to taste some of these great bourbon brands this holiday season with friends and family. Until then, bourbon on.
And now we're going to sample Longbranch.
Mm-hmm.
So
sounds like a Western movie in itself.
It does sound like a Western movie.
You know, and the interesting thing is Longbranch is a wild turkey brand. So the wild turkey label is on the neck of the bottle.
So we're back to the Russells again.
And the kickin' chicken.
And the kickin' chicken.
That was a whiskey chicken.
Whatever you want it to be.
Whiskey chicken.
Whatever you want it to be.
I want that on a t-shirt.
There you
I'm
go.
on it.
Bourbon Boys, whiskey chicken.
There you go, whiskey chicken. Kickin' chicken.
Still
I like
selling
that,
more in
actually.
the
That'd be
Etsy
great
store.
on a t-shirt. All right, go ahead, Derek.
Okay, so this is a Longbranch is a wild turkey sub-brand, and this is a collab with Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Russell. So we talked about Eddie a couple episodes ago.
Is it Eddie or Jimmy?
This one was Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the
Brother.
the
Father.
I don't know, the father to the
Mother.
I don't know.
No, not the
It was not his mother, that I know.
Eddie is the son of Jimmy.
So Eddie is the son of Jimmy. Okay, so this was Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Matthew McConaughey was a longtime fan of bourbon.
And bongos.
And bongos and weed. And
nakedness.
Playing bongos naked.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Longbranch or Wild Turkey looked into that in the past. But he was approached by Wild Turkey, many glasses in, to work on something together. And the name Longbranch goes to extending a branch to a stranger to bring them into your family. So it's a gesture.
That's how I feel about all you guys.
Thanks, man.
Oh dear God.
And the idea was that Matthew McConaughey became the creative director for Wild Turkey. Spent a lot of time with the Russell family, with the Wild Turkey brand, and they came up with this, flavor profile, which is traditionally distilled in oak barrels, and then it's filtered through oak and mesquite. So the mesquite comes from Texas. Matthew McConaughey is from Texas. Matthew McConaughey is a Longhorn. So you get the long and you get the branch and you get the long branch connection there.
Mesquite.
And the fact that he's famous doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all. But, and I remember seeing something in Adweek when it came out, and I thought it was interesting that a celebrity was kind of taking some time away from, or in addition to maybe, his acting career to become a creative director and influence brands. So you'll see on the label, his name and Eddie are on there.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's an interesting thing. It didn't get a whole lot of press. It was something in the beginning, but not a ton, since then. And this came out back in April 2018. So they're using existing, it says it's an 8-year bourbon. So they're using existing bourbon that's coming from Wild Turkey. But then that filtration is through mesquite. So it gets that Texas flair, and it's a little bit of an interesting story. It seems like it's a good connection between his personality, the Wild Turkey brand. So it's interesting. I didn't go in looking for Matthew McConaughey bourbon, but when I grabbed it and then looked at the backstory of it, I thought that was interesting. And it reminded me that there was a backstory there that came out, and I saw it and forgot about it.
Okay,
but. Let me know what you guys think about it. When on the nose, what I'm getting to start is a butterscotch, and again, my brown sugar.
Of course.
So
it's a bunch of BS.
I'm getting that. I have two different tastes. So my first taste, and we all know we've talked about this in the past. It takes like 3 tastes to get in. The first one kind of stuns you and numbs you. Second one starts to settle in. By the third one, you are well on your way to appreciating the flavor profile of this particular bourbon. They've released the mash bill. It's 75% corn, so we expect that to be on the sweeter side.
Sweet.
Yep. 13% rye, 12% malted barley. So it's a little bit higher on the malted barley that we've seen in the past and lower on the rye. So just by math, you would think that would just be a smoother, less spicy bourbon. My first taste, I'm getting kind of a sweet and cinnamon flavor. But by the second, it moves to like a spicy vanilla. So it's like a little bit of vanilla with a bite. And because it's an 86 proof, the finish is really smooth. It's a long finish. And surprisingly, for an 86, it's got that chest warmer feel to it.
Which is surprising for an 86.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I expect that to be in the 90s.
Right.
I'm tasting a little char, so maybe that's a little bit of the lingering of that warmth. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not really getting the mesquite.
No.
Yeah, the mesquite's missing for me as well.
Yeah, I wanted to be there.
Yeah,
I'm getting a lot of honey is for me. Maybe that's what you're around here. But yeah, I'm not getting the mesquite, but I wanted it to be there.
Right. I mean, they made it part of the story. They made that effort to filter it.
Yeah, make it different. Yeah.
I got to think that's a fine line, right? I mean, if you go over that line and taste too much mesquite, then it's just probably ruined.
Yeah, it's like,
well, that's true, but give me a little.
But yeah, something. And maybe the char and the smoky is supposed to be that, and I do get a little bit of that.
Yeah,
but
it's not strong enough though.
Not what I would have expected.
Yeah,
having heard
it's a short finish.
So.
It goes away quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like for it to, especially if there was a mesquite, I'd like for that to linger a little more.
Right.
Yeah. But nope.
Which is a little bit of an oxymoron to Longbranch.
Longbranch short finish.
Longbranch short finish. I don't think
another T-shirt.
I've heard that.
I gotta put that on a shirt. That's
we talking about Kurt again?
Oh, I love it.
Sorry, Kurt.
I'm
That'd be a great T-shirt. What are you talking about?
I'm not explaining that one at the bar, so I won't be wearing that one.
Yeah, there'll be no pictures of that one.
Two guys walk into a bar.
So overall, like again, missing the mesquite thing, but overall, what do you think?
I like it. I like it. If I didn't, here's the thing: if I didn't know that there was mesquite in there,
you would never.
I would not expect it.
No,
and I don't miss it.
Right. Yep.
But because the promise of a mesquite finish and the idea of bringing Texas and Kentucky together,
maybe miss the mark a little bit.
I need a little bit more Texas.
Yeah, I think it's a little disappointing actually.
Yeah. From the shelf presentation. The bottle's cool. The label's pretty simple and straightforward. I like the look of it. I can see why I would pick it up. Yep. And then knowing the story behind it, it's like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
But it kind of disappoints on the back end from there.
I think for me, just going back to the Russell Reserve and just knowing that story and the quality of the product that those guys put out.
Oh, right.
I think that's the miss for me. So
I think it still has a high quality. For $40 a bottle, I think that it's a good bourbon. But if I did, now that I know the story behind it, I expect more.
Expectation. It doesn't mean it is a good bourbon for $40. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Right.
But clarifying against the story and the expectations that builds, it's not quite there.
Yep.
But would you put it up against a Russell Reserve?
I would go to the Russell Reserve.
Okay.
side by side, I think that Russell Reserve was good.
Really good. Yeah,
it was really good.
Good answer.
It is interesting when you see
yours, right? Okay, good.
No, that's not why, but just good answer.
It is interesting to see some of the larger distilleries like Jim Beam and Wild Turkey doing something different, right? And trying to differentiate. And you wonder if that's to go against some of the small batch craft distillers.
It's a good call.
It is. Here's my thing though. So here's a question for you guys. What's your take on this whole like movie star / bourbon / like I'm more like an anti that kind of thing. So to me, I just think it's like putting a name on something.
Yeah, I agree. For the most part, the one kind of hall pass here, or the one thing that they did that I can get my heads around, is Matthew McConaughey.
You have more than one?
Oh, more than one, absolutely. But Matthew McConaughey is, his brand is Texas.
The casting's right.
And they went, and they were consistent to that, and they claimed they pulled it through with the mesquite. Yeah. So I'll give them that. So it's not too over the top. I'm not a big fan of it, though. To your point, celebrity endorsements don't usually drive anything.
But Matthew McConaughey versus Tom Hanks all day long, right?
Yeah, exactly. This fits with the story and the picture they painted. They just didn't deliver on it.
Right. Yeah.
Good call.
Okay. Fair call.
Cool.
And I think with mesquite, it's a pretty pronounced flavor to begin with. So if it was too much, you'd be like, this tastes like a marinade.
Yeah, it didn't taste like ribs.
Yeah, exactly. Right, right. So
it's like Parmesan cheese.
And having tasted other wild turkey flavor profiles, I think that they were smart not to go too far with it.
Yep.
But at the same
but
time,
again, my push is if you're going to claim it, then own it. And I don't feel like they own it on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so no hashtag mesquite.
Hashtag no mesquite.
No mesquite.
From all of us Bourbon Boys, we want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Bourbon on.